Industrial decor brings gritty yet refined edge to modern dining rooms. The industrial style highlights raw materials and utilitarian elements from factories, warehouses, and other rugged settings. Exposed bricks, distressed wood, steel, and concrete blend seamlessly to create an urban look. Black, gray, and rustic wood tones dominate the color palette. When planning an industrial dining room, think urban loft meets vintage factory to turn the space into a bold, trendy gathering place. Select an industrial dining table. The dining table anchors the industrial design with a sturdy, sleek silhouette. Solid wood plank tables show wood grain and knots for organic texture. Opt for unfinished, lightly stained or weathered oak, walnut, and pine woods. Concrete and metal tables also have an urban vibe. Look for tables with metal legs, casters, and X-shaped bases for support. Choose thinner tabletops around 1.5 inches thick or less. The wood grain or concrete texture remains visible at this depth. Go for a rectangular, oval, or round shape based on space. Extendable dining tables work well for smaller areas that occasionally host larger groups. A cross-light pedestal dining table has a minimalist yet statement-making industrial style for open floor plans. Keep blinds very clean and modern. Complement with industrial dining chairs. To match an industrial-style table, opt for dining chairs with exposed frames. Metal and wood chairs have an urban warehouse aesthetic. Look for glossy bent metal legs and arms with leather, velvet, or wood seat covers. Tulloch-style chairs with a metal lattice back and seat are a classic bistro style. Upholstered slipper chair styles also work well. Wooden ladder back and spindle chairs show carpentry techniques with simple lines. Dark brown and black stain options have richness. For bench seating, choose metal frame construction with distressed, reclaimed, or painted wood tops. Leave chairs unpadded for a more streamlined look. The chairs should feel structured yet worn. Incorporate exposed architectural elements. One of the hallmarks of industrial decor is highlighting construction materials and techniques. Exposed elements like brick walls, ductwork, and concrete establish the raw industrial ambience. Leave brick exposed or add faux treatments for urban texture. A brick wall enclosing the dining space adds cozy separation. Exposed steel support posts and beams add factory flair. Use metal lighting tracks for an industrial edge. Leave ductwork, pipes, and wiring uncovered. The ceiling can be opened to the rafters or painted concrete. Hardwood floors with imperfections and scratches also suit the industrial dining room style. Display bold lighting fixtures. Make a dramatic statement in an industrial dining room with bold lighting. Iron or chandeliers suspended by chains create an old machinery effect. Large pendant lights over the table illuminate industrial ambience. Go for black, silver, stainless steel, or brass finishes. Edison bolts have a vintage flair. Integrate track and hanging metal framework that showcases visible bulbs. Spotlights provide directional task lighting. Repurposed pieces like an old tool crate or milk jug make quirky pendant lights. Accent with iron sconces and table lamps for additional urban atmosphere. Choose lighting that makes a working warehouse impression. Incorporate rustic and distressed furnishings. Complement the hard edges of industrial dining decor with rustic, distressed furnishings. They inject more warmth and texture. Reclaimed sideboards, buffets, and console tables make ideal serving areas. Look for pieces with patinas, nicks, dents, and scratches that reveal natural wear and tear. Salvaged wood storage lockers offer character. Vintage ladder bookshelves double as space dividers. Top furnishings with reclaimed barnwood or aged timber for tabletops. Soft woven baskets contrast the metal and wood materials. The balance of industrial and rustic elements creates depth. Display vintage factory and farmhouse items. For decor, display items reminiscent of industrial machinery and vintage goods. Framed black and white photography of old factories conveys heritage. Sepia-tone images of rural farms also complement the aesthetic. Metal tin signs adding personality and nostalgia to blank walls. Display instrument model replicas, mechanics tools, and scientific equipment as ornamental shop decor. Stack old crates and storage barrels as end tables, vintage suitcases and trunks store table linens. The underlying factory warehouse theme shines through decorative items. Incorporate black and gray color palette. Deep colors like black and gray reinforce the industrial atmosphere. They make dining furnishings really stand out against the backdrop. Use black stain or paint on dining chairs and tables to create bold silhouettes. Gray washed or weathered woods also have a similar moody, urbane effect. Choose dark gunmetal hardware and fixtures. For dramatic impact, paint one brick, concrete, or wood wall black. Layer in black and white architectural photography. Add black candles, table runners, and placemats. Use gray, white, and black dinnerware for modern simplicity. The color scheme has an understated yet artistic vibe. Include urban landscape decor. Tie in views of the outdoors to add a contrasting natural element. Photographic city skyline prints connect to the urban setting. Frame pictures of local architecture and street scenes. Suspended planters with trailing ivy, ferns, or herbs simulate broken-down buildings. Place succulents and cacti in tiny containers on shelves as organic accents. The outdoor references keep the industrial dining room grounded. The industrial-style dining room has an eclectic, artsy edge. The urban atmosphere comes from blending salvage architectural elements like brick and wood with sleek metal furnishings. Creating an authentic industrial feel relies on showcasing raw textures and materials. Keep the color palette dark and moody. Include conversation starters like antique factory tools and photography. Finally, sprinkle in some greenery to soften the hardcore warehouse vibe. Follow these industrial dining room tips to design a fashionable, inviting urban space with lots of dimension and personality.